1 minute. Yeah. So you can see. Okay. So okay, there are many databases are there in outside. Oracle. Okay, there are many RDBMS products are there. Oracle, PostgreSQL, MySQL. So these all are RDBMS products. Okay. Even though if you have many databases, why this much requirement for PostgreSQL database nowadays? Last 3 years onwards, there are a huge requirement for PostgreSQL database, DBS. Even if you search in Naukri, okay, so tough to get okay more than 5-6 profiles for PostgreSQL DBA profiles. If you search with Oracle DBA, MySQL DBA, there are many profiles are there. So even competition also very less compared to other Oracle DBA, MySQL. If you compare with other databases, so competition also very less. So PostgreSQL, the why this much huge requirement is okay. So there are it's a first is it's a open source platform. PostgreSQL is a open source platform. So if you compare to Oracle, Oracle is a completely licensed platform. So if anyone not interested to pay license, if anyone interested to use open source platform, yes, the PostgreSQL is the best platform to utilize without a license. Even what are the features are there in Oracle, other database platform, other RDBMS platform, all the features, almost all the features there in the PostgreSQL. So that's why the last, if you see last 3 years onwards, what are the projects there in the Oracle database? All the database projects will be migrating to open source platform. Almost 60 to 70% migration will be done. The down the line, only 30 to 40% will be there. So that's why, okay. So if you Oracle with Postgres, the common profile is to wait in outside, because all the projects will be migrating from Oracle to Postgres. If you know source and target, source is Oracle, target is Postgres. If you know source and target, that is it will be good weight in outside. Even though if you have other skill set, MySQL, SQL Server, nowadays every DBA must and should upskill for PostgreSQL. If you don't know PostgreSQL, it's tough to survey our job. It's tough to survey our job. So that is the main concern. So this much huge requirement for PostgreSQL DBA. So in this PostgreSQL, okay, if anyone wanted to use open source, yes, open source database is there. If anyone not interested to use open source, some clients they are looking for enterprise version of PostgreSQL database, means like Oracle. Because in open source there is no vendor support. So some clients they are thinking, if there is no support, if any issue comes, there could be downtime. We are not sure when we are going to fix the issue. So for them, they are going to utilize a licensed PostgreSQL database. So Postgres is available. It's a open source platform. It's form of enterprise version. If anyone interested, what kind of Postgres? If it is open source, go on to utilize without license. If you don't utilize, if you don't want to go with open source, go and utilize enterprise PostgreSQL database. So there you have to pay the license like Oracle. So if you pay license, enterprise PostgreSQL database, there we get the vendor support. Means if you while using enterprise PostgreSQL database, if you face any issue, whatever, immediately you can raise a ticket with the PostgreSQL database, enterprise PostgreSQL database. So they will support us based on priority. If you are using open source PostgreSQL database, there is no vendor support. We only fix problem. So based on you have to search in Google, you have to get the information from friends. Like this, we have to get the information we have to fix if you are using open source PostgreSQL database. So it's not a new product. It's not a new database. This database available since 1986 onwards. Who developed this product? Can say it's a powerful open source PostgreSQL database. So there is a Berkeley is the author of PostgreSQL database. He developed PostgreSQL database. Initially, they developed the given name is Ingress. Initially, in the 1986, they developed a database. Is the lead of PostgreSQL database. Initially developed Ingress. Later, they given rename as Postgres in the year 1986. It's not a new database. Last 3-4 years onward, there are many changes happening in this Postgres database. That's why clients are interactive with this database. They are going to migrate from other database to this database. Last 3-4 years onwards, there are many changes happening in this Postgres database. They added many changes. Whatever the features there in the Oracle other database, all the features included in this database as well. Okay, so you can say okay. Okay, so you can say, let me. Yeah, so this is not a product. In the 1986, they developed Ingress database. After they renamed as Postgres in the year 1986. So it's released first version Postgres 95 in the year 1995. After they released Postgres 6.0 in the 1996. This is the first version of Postgres SQL database 6.0. Later, they released one by one the major version 7.0, 8.0. Now the Postgres SQL latest version is Postgres 16.0. But in the projects they are using Postgres 13 or 14. So there is no big difference between 13, 14. There is a big difference between 9 and 10. So we are drive with this Postgres course with the Postgres SQL version is 13. Or 11 also it's fine. In 11 and 12, there is a small differences 11 and 12, 12 and 13. So if you know 11, you can work with any version. That could be 14, that could be 15, that could be 16. There is no major difference between from 11 onwards. There is a Postgres 9 and 10. There is a major changes happening in between Postgres SQL 9 and 10. So these are the Postgres SQL versions. 6.0, they released in 1996. Later, yeah, go ahead. Any queries? Please keep on mute, okay, if you don't have any questions. Can say after they released 7.0, the major version in the year 2000. Next 8.0, 9.0. This is the 9.6 stable version equal to Oracle 9i. Oracle 9i. After they released 10.0, there is a big difference between 9.6 and 10. After 10, there is no difference. There is a small differences. If you know Postgres 11, yes, you can work with any version. Nowadays, the latest version is 16.1. They released September 14th. 15.0, 14.0. Like this, one by one, they added some features. They released a release version. Now, the latest version is 16.1. These are the Postgres SQL versions. Can say, so I am saying it's an open source platform. Open source means, what is the meaning of exact open source? If any product which is available free of cost, we can say that is the open source product. No need to pay any license cost. Nothing will be paying to utilize that product. So PostgreSQL is the one of the open source platform. We can utilize without any license. Don't need to pay anything. Simple, just go to this website. You can download it. You can utilize. If it is Oracle, we have to pay license. First, we have to get the license. Then you can utilize the Oracle database. So PostgreSQL, it's not like that. It's available. It's a form of open source platform. It's available form of enterprise. Two versions available Postgres. One is open source. Another one is enterprise. Enterprise means wherever you see keyword enterprise, that's a commercial. Means we have to pay license. So I don't want to pay license. I need open source. Yes, you can use open source PostgreSQL database. Where we can download this open source database? This is the website. You have to visit this website. There we can download PostgreSQL database. This is open source database only. This is open source database only. So this is the website. So here, if you want to download the software, yes, you have to download, click on download. If you want to get the documentation, yes, you have to click on this documentation. It gives the documentation of each and every versions. So whatever, if you want to know something about open source database, open source PostgreSQL database, you have to visit this website. Okay, so support. If I use open source database, how was the support? Support is very, very important in software industry. If we use open source PostgreSQL database, first point, there is no vendor support. There is no vendor support. There is no vendor support because we are not paying anything. We are using the PostgreSQL open source database free of cost, no license. Nothing will be we are going to pay. So there is no vendor support. So if no vendor support, what kind of support is available in open source database? So there is a community group is there in the same website. There is a community group is there. In the community, if you join in this community, if you have any issue, just you can post your this community. Please keep on mute. Okay, thanks. So if you join this community, if you have any issue, just you can post your issue in this community mail. So if someone is, whatever the existing members, if they see your issue, whatever you post, if they know, they will give the solution. But this is not a guarantee. We are not sure. Someone is giving, someone is respond my issue. We are not sure. This kind of support is available if you are using open source PostgreSQL database. So whatever other, there is a commercial support. If you are using enterprise DB PostgreSQL database, I don't want to use open source database because there is no vendor support. If there is no vendor support, I am not sure. If I get issue, I'm not sure when I can fix the issue. My business is very critical. So I can go with the commercial support. I can go with enterprise PostgreSQL database, not open source PostgreSQL database. So if we go with the enterprise PostgreSQL database, enterprise version of PostgreSQL database, how many vendors are there to provide EDB database? Till September 2020, these two vendors are there to provide enterprise PostgreSQL database. Till September 2020, the second coordinate, this is one type of vendor, it's like Oracle. They take, initially they take open source database, they added some features, they released, the given one name is, they released, they started their product, some license cost. Another vendor, EDB, enterprise database. EDB is one of the company like a Oracle company. It's providing enterprise PostgreSQL database. It's provide enterprise PostgreSQL database. Initially, they took the open source database only. They took the they took the open source PostgreSQL database. On top of open source, they added some features. They added some features. They added some features. The given one name is EDB Postgres database. They started their product some license cost. So if you take the license for EDB PostgreSQL database, if we use EDB database, what is the benefit? We have vendor support. If you face any issue, my team is there. Simply you can raise a ticket. My team will support. Will fix the issue based on the priority. Here in the open source, there is no vendor support, there is no assistance. There is no guarantee assistance in if you go with open source PostgreSQL database. So whatever the critical applications go with the EDB database. What are the non-critical applications? Go with the open source PostgreSQL database. So open source means there is no license, there is no vendor support. Commercial support means there is a vendor support, but we have to pay license cost to utilize enterprise PostgreSQL database. So till September 2020, there is a 2 vendors available to provide EDB database. In the year September 2020, this EDB company acquired this second coordinate. Now there is no competition for EDB company. There is no competition for EDB. If any client go with the enterprise, they should take license from EDB company only. Clear? This is the website. If you download any software or to see the documentation of EDB, this is the website of enterprisedb.com. So that's about open source and enterprise. So what are the features there? You can say first is language support. I can install Postgres front end. You can implement your application with any language. That could be Python, that could be Java, that could be C, C++, Ruby, JavaScript. I don't bother about front end application. You can implement your application whatever language. I can support backend with my Postgres database. That is the language support. Free to download. It since it's an open source platform, no need to pay anything. Free of cost. I can download my Postgres database. I can utilize. Compatible on several operating system. You can install Postgres on top of any operating system. That could be Windows, that could be Linux, that could be Mac OS, anything. Anywhere I can install my Postgres database. So support multiple features of SQL. What are the features there in the Oracle, other database platform? All the features will be there in the PostgreSQL also. Some database limits are there. So maximum table size, there is no limit for maximum database size. For table, there is a 32 terabyte. There is a table size. There is a row size. There is a field size. Okay, so this is the database objects limits. Some common database some terminology is different compared to PostgreSQL from other database. So you can say in Oracle or some other database, you can say table or index. Here you can say relation. In PostgreSQL, relation means table. Here row means record. Here tuples. Tuple means rows. Here you can say columns. Here you can say attributes. Here you can say data block. When you can say data block, when the block is in disk, you can say data block. Here you can say page. Same, the block size is same, but here you can say page. Here you can say buffer. When the block is in memory, we can say buffer. Here page. This is the common terminology compare with PostgreSQL with the other database platform. Okay, so this is about why this much huge requirement PostgreSQL database. So any queries? Okay, let me know. Any queries?
So when does EDB have a community version, or is only the enterprise version?
It's having community version. Okay, so if you suppose, okay, if you download a community version from Windows platform, it's root to EDB website. There only you can download the community version. So if you want to get commercial support, you have to pay the license. Yes, it's available.
So even that would be better than using an open source Postgres, right? The community version.
Means, okay, EDB, it's same thing. Okay, what are the features there in the open source? It's same thing will be there in the EDB. They are not added on top of community version. If you go with the license, yes, on top of that, they added some features. You get the benefits. support, we'll get the vendor support, we'll get some additional features which was developed by EDB team. In open source, it's not available. In non-critical applications, they can go with open source. Clear, Siraj?
Yeah, Venkat, Krishna here.
Yeah, go ahead.
Venkat, what about the license cost for the EDB when it compared to Oracle? Is it cheaper or
It's
it is
10 times less compared to other Oracle platform. It's 10 times less.
okay? And this Postgres supports rack like cluster systems.
No, there is no. We'll go and tell you that part. Just
Okay.
wait 2 minutes. As of now, if you have any queries, let me know. Okay, we'll go and tell you. Okay, what are the topics there in the Postgres? What are the topics in the Oracle? Okay, whether it is ASME support, some doubts are there. If you background Oracle DBA, whether it is ASM is there, whether rack is support. Okay, we'll clear those doubts.
Venkat, one more
Okay.
question.
Yeah, go ahead, go ahead.
Yeah, so I just read it from the online source. They say like the open source Postgres is almost 5 years in back in the development when compared to the EDB.
Mhm.
Okay, so how good is using open source?
Sorry, come again.
No, so I just read from a
Okay,
blog.
yeah.
So it was mentioned that the open source Postgres is almost 5 years backwards in the development when compared to the advanced EDB.
Which version you are?
It was a general topic where the discussion was.
Okay.
So it was a debate on like to use open source or DDB stuff.
So, okay, you can, whatever, okay, you can, you have to download latest date. That's why we have to upgrade the latest version. Suppose, okay, now the latest version is PostgreSQL 16. Okay, so even though in the database projects, they are using 14 or 15. So you have to, if you want to get the benefits of latest features, you have to upgrade your database to latest version. Suppose you are using 11, you have to upgrade to 12, 13, 14, so that you can get the latest features. Clear?
What is the latest features? What is the difference between 10 or 11 to 13 or
Okay.
14?
So when you start DBA course, you will get you can understand. Okay. Suppose okay, there is some functions are there. Some redo log files in Oracle redo log files are right. Here we can say wall files. So there is a directory name it changed. Some functions also changed. Okay. When you start with the DBA course, you will get clear. If I tell now, okay, because you don't know about Postgres. Okay. If you start with in the each and every topic, you will get okay, what are the features added? Suppose in Oracle 9i, if you are Oracle, okay, you can understand what is the features added in 9i compared to 19c, 21c. There are many features added. In Postgres also, Oracle 9.6 is the older days. It's a standard stabilized version. Now, after 9.6, they added many features in the 10.0 onwards. But 10.0 to 11, 12, there are less features added. We'll tell you, don't worry. Go ahead, any queries? If no queries, okay, we'll tell you. We'll compare to Oracle database, we'll tell you. What are the things support in Postgres? What are the things there in the Oracle database? Okay. So let me see. Okay. Okay. Can see in Oracle, these are the core DBA, backup and recovery. Okay. Logical backup, physical backup, data guard, ASM, rack, golden gate. Okay. Golden gate is separate. Okay. These are the things comes under picture Oracle DBA. In case of Postgres, there is no ASM support. There is no rack support. Everything is file system only Postgres. There is no ASM support. It's not supporting ASM. It's not supporting rack system. So what are the core DBA topics there in the Oracle? The same thing will be there in the Postgres. Core Postgres. Okay. Backup and recovery. Yes. Here also logical backup is there. Physical backup is there. Replication. Replication equal to data guard in Oracle. Data guard in Oracle. Okay. So there you can say primary. Here you can say master. There you can say standby. Here you can say slave. So there is no ASM. There is no rack support in case of Postgres. If you want to like a rack, you have to go with replication like data guard in Postgres. There is no rack system. Multi-instance doesn't support in Postgres data. That's why what are the non-critical applications go with the Postgres SQL database. Clear? Okay. So let's say, okay. So in our lab, okay. So we are going to use a virtual machine. Virtual machine, we are using Oracle VirtualBox. Oracle VirtualBox. In this VirtualBox, we have to create virtual machine. On top of virtual machine, we have to install Oracle Linux. You can use any Linux, but we are using Oracle Linux. So we have to create virtual machine. On top of machine, we have to install Oracle Linux. On top of this Linux machine, we are going to install PostgreSQL 11 or 13. Okay, we'll cover all the things. We'll cover 11. What are the features added in the 13? Those things will cover. So this is we are using lab section. So you have to create a virtual machine using Oracle VirtualBox software. Like this, this is the VirtualBox software. These are the missions. Each mission you have to install Oracle Linux, any Linux. We are using Oracle Enterprise Linux that's developed by Oracle company. On top of Linux, you have to install Postgres database. Okay. So in case of Oracle, if you want to install Oracle, what are the things we added? What are the things we required? Okay. To install Oracle, any database, we need Oracle Home, where the software will be installing. That location we can say Oracle Home. To store the data files, we require one location. Yes. For inventory, we require one location. What is the default port number in case of Oracle? 1521. What is the super user? Sys user. Okay. If you install Oracle, how to connect the database? There is two methods are there. For any database, there are two methods are there. One is command line mode. Second is GUI tool, GUI method, graphical user interface. If it is command line mode, you have to use utility SQL+. If it is command line method, if it is GUI method, you have to use SQL developer. This is Oracle. In case of Postgres, database, so in case of Postgres also, we require one location to install the software. That software location you can say Postgres home location. In case of Windows, this is the default Postgres home location. This is the version number. If you install 11, the 11 folder will be created. Inside this location, Postgres software will be installed. To store the data files, we can say we required one location. That location, the default location for to store the data files. This is the default location. We can say data directory in Postgres. What is the purpose of data directory? To store the data files and the configuration files. Only two locations were required to install Postgres on any platform. What are those? One is Postgres home location. Other one is data directory. Data directory. What is the purpose of data directory? To store the data files and the configuration files. Each database there is a configuration files are there. Data files are there. To store data files and the configuration files, we require one location. That location we can say data directory. To install binaries, we require one location. That location we can say Postgres home location. So what is the default user in Postgres? Default super user is Postgres only. The username is Postgres equal to sys in Oracle. The super user is Postgres. What is the default port number in Postgres 5432. In case of community version, open source database, what is the default port number? 5432. In case of EDB, 5444 is the default port number. So what is the default user in case of using EDB? Enterprise DB is the super user if you are using EDB PostgreSQL database. So this is about to install Postgres. These are the two locations required. This is the default port number. This is the default super user. So how to connect to Postgres database? How to connect Postgres database? Here also same. One is command line mode, other one is GUI method. If it is command line method, we have to use PSQL utility equal to SQL plus. If it is GUI method, we have to use pgadmin tool, which is equal to SQL developer. How you are using SQL developer? The same way you can use pgadmin. We'll tell you, don't worry. So these are the methods to connect the database. These are the locations to install Postgres. We require home location, data directory, default user, default port number. Any queries in this? If no queries, okay, we'll go and discuss about how the material will be there. Can say so. Okay, I will provide each and every topic. It's my own material. Suppose okay, there is a installation. Okay, there is a M method. Postgres installation. There is a one type of M method. So how to install Postgres M method? After completion of each and every topic, we'll provide the material like step 1, step 2. Can say step 1, get the instruction from website. Step 2, install repository. Step 3, can say so install the server. Step 3, create the cluster. Step 4, enable the daemon process. Step 5, to start the Postgres SQL service. Step 6, check the Postgres services up and running or not. Step 7, connect the database. Like this, each and every topic, step 1, step 2, step 3. In this document, input is there, output is there. So that without other help, you can go and practice by own. This is about material part. These all are my own material. Suppose if you take, okay, if you take some, okay, user management, only single file. How to create the user, how to create the roles, how to give the permission, how to create the read-only access, read-write access, how to see the permissions, everything it will cover like this. Each and every topic, it's having a one notepad file. Okay, it's having all the where are the theory points required, what are the practical, everything it's covered each and every topic wise. Go ahead. Go ahead. Hello. Okay, so what is the course content? What are the topics we are going to cover? You can say I already shared this link in the invitation. So you can say so Postgres SQL DBA course. So we'll cover installation types. There is a 4 methods to install Postgres. You can go any platform, any project. These are the 4 methods available to install Postgres. If it is Windows, only 1 method. If it is Linux, these 3 methods. You have to choose any one of the method in case of Linux. We'll cover uninstallation of each method. We'll cover pgadmin installation, uninstallation, how to administration pgadmin. We'll cover cluster configuration, multi-clusters, how to create multi-clusters, how to create cluster. We'll tell you tomorrow what is the cluster, what is the difference between Oracle cluster and Postgres cluster. It's not like Oracle cluster. Here, people call as a cluster, but it's not like Oracle RAC. But we'll tell you difference between Oracle cluster and Postgres cluster tomorrow. How to create cluster, how to configure multi-cluster configuration, how to set up environment variables, how to enable remote connections, what are the shutdown modes, what are the startup modes, what are the cluster hierarchy, what are the DB creation, how to create the database, how to management database part, how to catalog with system tables, schema management, how to create the schema, how to switch one schema to other schema, how to drop the schema, enable logging mechanism. In Oracle, there is a default logging is enabled. Alert log is there. Everything is written into alert log file. But in Postgres, there is no logging. You have to enable the logging mechanism. How to enable? What are the parameters we used in this topic? It will cover. Contrib modules, parameters. What are the static and dynamic? Whether it is record downtime or not, to enable the parameters. User management, everything it will cover. How to give the read access, write access, how to implement users and roles concept, how to see the permissions, how to give the revoke, read access, grant and revoke. Postmaster, here it will start the PostgreSQL architecture. So last 30 batches, it will cover same pattern. All are 100% satisfied students. So usually it's 15,000 okay for this course, but okay, so this time this batch only we are giving offer only 10,000. Can say architecture part 1, we cover memory based architecture. What are the memory components? What is the purpose of each and memory components? What are the parameters used to configure memory areas? What are the architecture part 2? What are the process based architecture? What are the background process there? What is the purpose of each and every background process? How to kill the sections in Postgres? How to see the active inactive sections? How to kill? Everything it will cover in this part. Wall files equal to readlog files in Oracle. What is the purpose of wall files? How to configure? Everything covered. Enabling archive mechanism like Oracle. Auto commit. There is a auto commit is there Postgres. After it ran DML statements, no need to give the commit statement. There is a commit is enabled by default. If you want to disable, you can disable. By default enable, no need to give the commit. In Oracle, you have to give the commit mandatory after performing DML statements. Table space, how to configure table space? What are the default table space? If you want to configure own table space, you can configure. Logical backup, physical backup. What are the utilities we use logical backup? What are the utilities we are using physical backup? Point in time recovery, patching, upgradation, physical replication equal to data guard in Oracle, switch over, failover, maintenance task, vacuum full, reindex, analyze, performance tuning, tools. These are the tools we are using. PG Bouncer, Oracle PG to migrate from database from Oracle to Postgres, PG Badger to generate the reports like AWS reports. In EDB installation, almost same EDB open source. There are installation is different. The remaining file structure, everything is same. If you compare with open source with EDB. So difference between EDB and open source, AWS RDS, how to create instance in AWS RDS, how to monitor. Okay. So this is about course content. Every day we are opening, there is a Excel sheet we are maintaining. Okay. Opening the Excel sheet like this, you can see. So what are the, okay, suppose installation, if we complete source code, will mark as, okay, done like this. Every day it will open the Excel sheet with the course content, all the topics. If it is complete, will mark as a complete. Like this, it will cover all the topics which was mentioned in the website. So material, you already seen. Okay, it's my own material. Every topic, it's after a complete section, we'll share the record plus material. By using that material, you can practice without other help.
I have one question.
Go ahead.
During installation, what should be the memory size or what should the required of the physical
Yeah.
laptop?
Yeah. For PostgreSQL, okay. Just it's okay. So we have to create virtual machine. Yes, right? Linux means we have to create virtual machine. So we are using Oracle VirtualBox. Okay. To create virtual machine, minimum we have to give assign 4 GB RAM for that virtual machine. If less than 4 GB, it's get very slow. So you have to give the 4 GB. Okay. So hard disk nothing. You can assign even 50 GB also. On top of this virtual machine, yes, it's fine. We can run PostgreSQL database. The minimum, it's having 4 GB to create any virtual machine. You can assign a hard disk minimum 15 GB, 50 GB. The software size also it's MB only. Let's go and visit the open source website. You can say postgresql.org. Okay. So if you want to download the software, you can say. So already click on download. Okay. So Linux, I want to download the software for Linux platform. Yes. So source, you can say suppose 16.0. What is the, this is the software. What is the size of this? 30 MB only. It's not like a GB. It's MB 30 MB only. This is the tar file, PostgreSQL 16.0. So it's not like Oracle. Okay. So just to run virtual machine fast, you have to assign minimum 4 GB, hard disk minimum 50 GB. You can install Postgres on top of this virtual machine. Clear? Any queries? Fee would be okay. So in general, okay, every batch we are we were charging 15,000, but this time we are charging 10,000 only this batch. Okay, so every day, so 8 to 9 a.m. IST, it will start exactly 8 a.m. IST, end with 9 a.m. IST. It's a 1 hour session. 1 hour session. Okay, it's sections will be Monday to Friday. There is no classes in the weekend, Saturday, Sunday. So sessions will be Monday to Friday. Monday to Friday. Okay. So duration would be 35 days. 35 days. Okay. Every day you will get the record plus material. Okay. So record will be, so you get the lifetime access. Lifetime access will send the recordings via Google Drive. Google Drive, you will get the read access. Okay, you will get the read access. You cannot download. You can get the lifetime access. You can play anytime. That is about a record. Material you can download. We'll send the WhatsApp group. Okay, you can download. You can practice. If you have any queries during the training, after training, okay. So there are, you can see, there are, okay. So these are the, you can see, there are, Postgres DBA. You can see. So these are the my, okay, students can see in this community. There are 2 groups of there. You can see Bindusri Technologies. So these all are experienced guys, which are trained in our place only. Okay. So how many members? Almost, okay. So you can see 96, almost 100 members. These all are experienced guys, like Oracle DBA. They are working Oracle DBA. Almost all are 10 plus members. Okay. So who are non-working, like, okay. So freshers, they just completed graduation, post-graduation. So there are also almost 100 students they are completed in our place. Okay. So there is no worry about, okay, how the topics are covered, how the quality of training, nothing. Okay. So we'll give the 3 days demos tomorrow, day after tomorrow. Not demo, tomorrow we'll start, okay, the first installation. What is the first installation? We'll start tomorrow actual class. GUI, how to install Postgres on Windows platform. Day after tomorrow we'll cover source code. Then we'll continue the classes tomorrow onwards. But till day after tomorrow, we'll give the free of cost. Okay. So these 3 demos, 3 days, you can join. You can decide yourself. Okay. If you want to continue this batch, okay. After 3 days, you can register the course. You can continue. Okay, that's about from my side. If you have any queries, let me know. We'll clarify.